What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj NBA, and with such an interesting start to the 2017 NBA season, or 2017-18, we've been witness to several teams having unforeseen starts, whether they be underachieving, overachieving, higher or lower from what we expected. But, through a few weeks of the season, we've seen some pretty strange things. The Orlando Magic starting 6-2, the Detroit Pistons, who are now 10-3, the Boston Celtics winning 12 games in a row. We've seen some teams play a lot better than we thought they would, and others, fall short, like, the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, for this video, I'm going to assume that everybody's on the same page when we say that the Golden State Warriors are the best team in basketball. Okay? I know they don't have the best record right now. They're 11-3, which is good enough to tie Houston for first in the West, really second in the West, because they lost to Houston on opening night. But Golden State's on a 7-game winning streak. They have the best point differential in the NBA. They are the defending champions. They are easily the most overpowered team in the NBA, and on paper, are an unfair team and roster, and can straight demoralize teams. And I think, as much as a lot of us, don't prefer the Warriors, we know this is the team to beat. Everybody in the league is trying to beat the Warriors now, not the Cavs, not the Spurs, not whoever. So, with this in mind, who is the second best team in the NBA? Right now, of course. I don't want to say who's gonna be the best, who's gonna make it to the finals, who's gonna be the second best team in the when the playoffs come around. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at this moment, who am I picking as the second best team? I'm picking the Warriors as the best team just because I'm pretty sure that's just the general opinion, consensus. So we're just gonna go with that. Who is the second best team in the NBA, though? I got a few teams to choose from. I'm looking at the Celtics, the Pistons, the Cavs, the Rockets, and the Spurs. At this moment, let's talk about the Celtics first. The Boston Celtics play the Brooklyn Nets tonight, and at this moment are currently up double digits in that game. I believe Kyrie Irving is back for that game, but the Celtics have won 12 straight. They've been on a tear, and without all-star Gordon Hayward, and they've had Al Horford and Kyrie Irving miss multiple games. I mean, that is one thing to lose Gordon Hayward and be this good, but it's another when you got guys constantly in and out of the lineup. Marcus Morris and Jason Tatum were also guys that deal with missing games too. So, the Boston Celtics have not had a consistent starting lineup. They haven't had a squad that they can throw on the floor, and that they know these guys are going to get it done together because, they've been in the lineup together. They know how to play together because they've had a ton of different players. They have guys like Marcus Smart and Terry Rozier off the bench who have been terrific this season. Guys that, are stepping up. Aaron Baines, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the rookie, of course. Shane Larkin off the bench. I mean, they've got all these players that are playing at their best, is what it seems like right now. And they're just playing as a team. Their defense has been stellar. I think, I'd probably say right now they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. But we'll see when it comes to some of the good teams in the Western Conference. I also want to touch on the Detroit Pistons. I can't say the Pistons here. And the reason why is because, yes, we've seen them go 10-3, and they've had some pretty big wins. Their schedule has not been the easiest. However, if you want to assume this title, you got to do a little bit more. The Detroit Pistons, what I mean by that is we need longevity. We need to see this continue for a long time before we can call it a real thing. Because, yes, the Pistons have been on a blazing hot start, but that doesn't even guarantee them a playoff spot at this point. we had no idea the Pistons would be this good. They laid an egg last season, and no one had them doing this good out the gate this year. So, if they lose 3 straight, they're out of this conversation completely. We can't just act like they are an elite team as of now after that great start. Yes, they had a great start, but they have to keep this up and prove that this is a real thing. The Boston Celtics, they've won not only 12 games in a row with players in and out in the lineup, but we also knew they were going to be one of the top teams. They have great players and great coaching, and defensively, they have not missed a step. So I think the Boston Celtics are clearly more convincing than the Pistons. I am going to talk about the Cavs real quick. The Cavs got a big win in a comeback. They were down 23 against the Knicks in MSG. They came back, big LeBron performance. Everyone's going crazy over this. And the Cavaliers, they're 500. I can't say the Cavaliers, they're not one of the best teams right now. They have looked absolutely flat on defense. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. As of right now, they don't have Isaiah Thomas, but even when Isaiah Thomas comes back, that defensive mark isn't going to improve. Tristan Thompson is injured as well. But a lot of guys on this team are just not giving the contributions they should. Derrick Rose, yeah, he's also injured also. I always forget about Derrick Rose. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, yes, they have LeBron. Yes, they will be one of the favorites to win it all, especially the Eastern Conference. However, we have to rely on them, getting back to form, Isaiah Thomas fitting in well, them being healthy enough to be this great team. At this point, they haven't shown any signs of that. They're a 500 team and just barely. LeBron is leading the league in minutes, and his team is 7-7. So, that's warning sign right there, if anything. Let's talk about the West. The Houston Rockets are 11-3. This, I don't know. I think that the Houston Rockets might be the team that I would put second overall in the NBA, because the Houston Rockets have a team that we know they can play offense. James Harden is better than ever right now. They've been without Chris Paul for their last 13 games out of 14. So 13 out of 14 games this season they've been out without Chris Paul. They're 10-3 in those games. They beat the Warriors in the fourth quarter without Chris Paul as well, but James Harden is playing as good as he's ever played. Their team is playing better defense than they've played in years, and everybody is clicking with this team. Eric Gordon has been phenomenal. This is a guy that spent so much time injured the last couple years, and no one really knew if he was ever going to get back to where he was in LA when he was starting to rise into a star type player. But he's got it. I'm not going to call him a star, but the guy can score the basketball as well as most shooting guards in the league, and he's an elite scoring player and shooter. So, he's been great. Clint Capella at center is remaining an underrated piece. And, without Patrick Beverley, without Lou Williams, this team has managed to retain form. They're looking really good, and they're convincing me the most because I believe they have more weapons than Boston. Overall, when you look at Boston, yes, the team's playing really well, but they've had the easiest schedule so far. Not only that, but they also don't have Gordon Hayward. If this run is to stop, if they revert back to the form that we think that they should be capable of, I don't believe that they're a 12-2 type team. They should be going on that pace all year. I think they're going to even out and win maybe 50-55 games, but they're not going to win 70 games, which is what a 12-2 pace is. The Houston Rockets have the ability to stay on an 11-3 pace. They're that good when they got all their pieces. They got all their pieces. I'm the most sold on the Houston Rockets. Let me also touch on the San Antonio Spurs. This is a team that's 8-5, third in the West right now without their best player, Kawhi Leonard. LaMarcus Aldridge has been killing it. I'm not going to lie, but at the moment, you really can't do a whole lot with the team you have when it comes to playing these elite teams. You saw what happened when they played the Warriors. They got out to a monster start and then ended up getting blown out because that's just what the Warriors do. And the Spurs, while yes, they've gotten some good performances, they've played well as a team this year, as they do every year. even without Kawhi, they're still not more dangerous than the Rockets, that's for sure. That's going to do it for this video. I'm going to say the Rockets are the second best team in the league. I'm going to stick with that for a while. And it's not just because James Harden. I mean, yeah, James Harden's great, but that team around him is very, very underrated. So let me know what you think down below. Who's the second best team in the league? Is Golden State even the best team in the league? I would be intrigued to see what you guys have to say to argue against that one. But, you know, we'll see. That's going to do it. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.